What is going on, everybody? Jersey here from windowcleaner.com and, of course, WCR Nation. And today I'm here with the man himself, Mr. John Lee. What's going on, man?
Not much. What's up, Jersey?
Ian. Look at this. Is the Westy Wagon. If you guys don't know about John Lee, you've been living under a rock. But, John, tell us about you. You are like an OG. Tell us all about what you've done, your career, what you know, and who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Been cleaning windows since 1982. Started out as apprentice for the first 6 years, working with who's a gentleman who's a customer now. Lived in about 7 different places over the next 10 years, cleaning windows. Last 20 years, I've been here in East Tennessee running small window cleaning company. And then about 9 years ago, I started with Chris and Alex as a product specialist.
You were the original. You were like the guy. Like if you called, it was you, and Alex even used to answer the phone back in.
Yes, it was hilarious. We had a little Alex had a little cell phone, and that was the company. Between he and Kate, they would trade off, answer the phone. And he would call me on cell phone. And if I had time, I was out working, can you take this call? And then, I'll do that. And then at nights and weekends, I would take calls. So, and I still do now. So if you call WCR anytime after hours, you'll get me. So it's sort of always been my thing is I'm a phone person. And I like when I call somewhere to be able to talk to a person and someone answers the phone. So that's always sort of been my sort of cup of tea with WCR is to try to answer the phone.
Yeah, you're the guy who doesn't sleep. You're the one that, like, if you call at 2 a.m, you answer. Everybody's always like, how come I don't ever get you at 2 a.m? I said, because you don't want to hear me talking at 2 a.m, and I'm not going to remember what I said to you anyway. Probably been making up lies.
There's a video somewhere on the forum or on YouTube, our YouTube WCR, where there's a video of someone calling, like middle of the night and me answering the phone and someone's video to see. Let's see if he actually answers the phone.
and you do all the time, and you remember somehow. People would call me and you'd hear this noise, and what? Who is this? Is it fire? And then people would just be bummed.
Yeah. So recently, though, I've been, a couple years ago, I've always had Volkswagen vans. I actually worked out of them, more newer models. I had a couple of 93s. They were great for working out of. And then a couple of years ago, I acquired this Westy, which is a full Westy camper, has the pop top, the full stove, the whole thing. And it's a diesel, and it's an 82. So, I work out of here a lot. I love to be mobile. That's the thing that I like is being able to work anywhere. And that's what's nice about with the phones. And as long as you have cell signal.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing today, by the way. John Lee is going to be in our WCR dailies on Mondays. And we're going to be doing miniature versions of the Westy Wagon stuff. And today we're talking all about the Gekko pads, which are brand new. And let's talk about it. I know you've got a chance to use them. What are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, so if any of you know me, you know that I've always been the green pads, as some say, the indoor kit. I started out with them before Unger even came out with them. I had my own version. I was having surgical towels sewn by seamstresses so they fit on a doodle pad. And so this is sort of I would just say, a very, very upgraded version of that indoor cleaning. I guess the thing that's been interesting to me is on Instagram, you see now, if you follow WCR on Instagram, everybody is using the scrub pads. There's several different versions out there. This Mormon's the newest one. But it's almost now where it's a 3-step process where you wet the window with a mop, then you scrub it with the scrub pad, and then you squeegee, which is new. We never, personally, years just use mops and squeegees.
Do you remember that, by the way? The funny thing is those techno pads, they were out for
Yes.
years, and all of a sudden, I think some
I
guy
know,
named Steve
yes.
made a video, and everybody's like, "I want those," and now they're
I
like,
know.
I
It's
don't
like
even know.
now,
It's crazy.
right. And now it's a 3 process, you know, to clean the windows, or I guess more if you consider wiping the edges and wiping up the water and all that. But this one's pretty nice. It's like I said, depending upon how you use them. I always love these for doing the insides with the microfiber. So, you know, microfiber fits on. I'm sure you guys have already seen the whole thing with Mormon is the tight corners, you know.
Which is
Um,
pretty good,
the,
actually. I think that's
yeah,
pretty clever because you
actually,
could really get in there.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah, the one thing I'm most impressed with it is the problem with the others when you're doing indoor, when you're just using the pad and spray away or whatever, is it never would get in the corners good. So you always had to take a towel to get the edges. But this does get in the corners good.
Yeah.
Another thing that is nice about it is it has the Velcro to hold it on the back. You know, the straps.
Yeah.
These are nice. Where you actually, instead of it just sticking, it actually straps. It has this strap, which is a, you know, really secure feature. And it does fit really tight. It has, I don't know if you can see this, but it actually has a pocket here. So when this point goes in, it actually, you know, is in there snug. It slides in on both sides, you know, into the corners.
And it doesn't, I mean, it's just like a Velcro pad. It does not move on there at all.
Right. And like the others, which Velcro to the back, you know, the stick on, this one has these straps. It's really nice. You can secure it. Of course, as you know, it comes in the steel wool.
Now, if I was to play devil's advocate, that's on what I would. That thing is $30 for that pad, and it is pretty much a one-time use.
Yeah.
You got to really want wool.
Now, where I used it myself personally is dry to touch up. The thing about if you've experimented with it, and I tell you this is a love-hate thing, with using the indoor kit, that version, you know, of the spray away or the pre-spray, and then you're going to not have success 100% of the time. You're going to get hazing sometimes, depending if they're real dirty, you know, you're going to have to work extra. Using this dry to touch up was really nice. You know.
Yeah.
I would
just
be
for
sort of
fingerprints.
mainly is with using the microfiber and spray away, or your own mix of rubbing alcohol and pure water. Sometimes you get some hazing on the windows, you know, or you know, you can buff them out with this. I found it. I would be sort of careful with this. I don't know. I'm a little hesitant about scratching glass.
Yeah. You never know. There's
you never know.
Wool right now, we could still get it in the 4.0, but that like bronze wool, that's people are still selling bronze wool, but it's not ultra fine. It's just fine. I mean, every time we tell them that it just they don't make it anymore, they go, I can buy it from XYZ window cleaning supply company. And it's like that stuff. I personally have seen it scratch. I think you were demoing the stuff too. I mean,
I did. I tested I had WCR sent me every time they got a new roll in. And I have a window that I practice on. It definitely, when the sun hits, you can see scratches. So.
Yeah,
I know for sure.
Just be careful.
I do want to talk a little bit about the swivel on this. Because like with all these, the swivels, this one's really unique. Of course, it does this and it does this. A lot of swivels, you know, will do this. Completely. But the design of this, that it has up and down with this part and then side to side. What they did, I thought was neat. They put the screws that goes through side to side and from end to end. They give you replacements. Because I can just tell you, if you use these, eventually that part's going to wear out. So they do give you 2 replacements and a little Allen wrench. So they give you the nuts and the screws, the long, the shorter one, and the nuts and a little Allen wrench. So I thought that was nice, you know, because eventually those, and it's held on with the 2 screws underneath. So the whole thing handle would come off of these 2. So I would say the weakest point on these is going to be this part here,
Yeah. No,
eventually.
by the way, we haven't seen any of them come. I haven't seen any of them come back yet. I don't
No,
know if you have. So surprisingly, you remember
they're
when
too new.
yeah, when they came out, when Mormon came out with that new, which was the 2.0 version of their handle with that blue kind of lever piece, and
Yeah,
as soon as it came out, I'm like,
yeah,
oh man, this is gonna be a nightmare. They're gonna be. I've not heard of one person in 2 years that has broken one of those things. So whatever
I know.
polymers they're using must be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I remember the first time I met or saw Mormon or any of their tools at a show, and I walked over and picked up which was now the 2.0 accelerator. It was the first accelerator.
Yeah,
I said, "This thing's plastic. This is not going to last." But I was surprised.
they do.
They're much sturdier than you think. Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Well,
sure.
it's different than polymers because there's been brands before, and you, like I know the brand I'm thinking of, but they
Yes,
just made like their polymers were
we
just
won't
garbage.
mention.
They would change one piece
Yeah,
of it because it was less expensive, and then they would just break and it would just
yeah,
explode, and you're like, "What?" And then there's other stuff like that that's just indestructible, you know?
yeah. The very first when they very first came out with a swivel, not a squeegee, but in like water fed and stuff like that, there was a lot of problems, at
Yeah.
first, with it. And but yeah, it definitely it was, it's a whole new concept. I remember this goes way back when the first swivel squeegee came out, the super system, you know,
Yeah.
and that was, that like changed my efficiency in working. It was like I was so excited, I was running around. Oh gosh, you don't have to actually bend over to do the bottom. You can stand up and pull across with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were the guy using the aluminum tucker poles back in the day too, so you've tried all the
Yeah.
equipment and you know where everything's
Yeah.
going. And I love seeing innovation. I mean, it's a simple industry, but it's nice
Uh,
to see the innovation. So,
and
but
it seems like the innovation in the last 10 years has just gone amazing. I mean, the amount of new products coming out, new things to make it, more efficient,
yeah.
easier.
Well, there's always going to be kind of um, there's always going to be the inventors of the world, you know, and that
Yeah.
will always help kind of things speed up. Um, kind
Yeah.
of innovation, things getting a little easier, a little better, a little faster, all that, and that's kind of the cool thing to kind of be on the cusp of it and see the new stuff coming out. But people got to remember, this is a small industry, so it's not like there's millions to be made, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's interesting either way. But
It
yeah,
keeps it exciting, really, because window cleaning can be extremely boring,
yes,
you know.
yeah,
So
we
you got to come up with something new or a new tool to, give you some kind of excitement for the day,
yep,
for
and
the
that
week.
that actually used to not be. I mean, we used to just be glorified janitors before. And again,
Yeah.
I'll blame WCR, but they were really detrimental in creating this culture thing where now people have stickers and they have T-shirts and they have hats and they have everything else for like a cool industry. So exactly, exactly. So it's really
Yeah.
changed. Really, actually, I got something. This guy
Uh,
at the show had made a bunch of these to show like
oh,
custom hats,
nice.
which are super
Leather
cool. So I'm
patch.
telling you, it's an industry, man.
Now,
But if you
now
guys,
they're on the side. Everybody's saying, "Send me one. I want one of
yeah,
those."
that's right, that's right. I'll take one. I'll take one. But if you guys
Oh,
don't
we'll
know,
throw one.
John Lee is a sales rep here for windowcleaner.com. So if you guys need anything, give him a call direct. Or if you do call after hours, 5 o'clock East Coast time, you're going to get John. John is going to answer the phone all the time. And if not, you're going to text us and say, hey, can I call you in a second when I'm off this call? So if you haven't
Yeah.
yet, check him out, call him, and also make sure to watch the Westy Wagon, which is going to be everywhere, kind of putting it all over.
Yeah, if you aren't following me yet, please follow me on Instagram. It's Westy Window Wagon, and it's new products from WCR. Anytime we get new products, I do introduce them here. And so, and I do have a YouTube channel. It's John Lee Window Cleaning at gmail.com. They got the new thing now with YouTube where you can do your little, mine is John at WCR,
Nice.
a little
Okay.
hyperlink or whatever.
Well, perfect. Well, cool. And we're going to be doing this now. We got all the kinks worked out. We'll be doing this every Monday. So We'll be back again tomorrow. Tomorrow will be, I believe, Austin on Tuesday. But either way, we'll talk to you again. And by the way, if you need any help with the website, I know we should have talked about that. Please call, let us know. We'll get you logged in. The new website's live. It doesn't really look any different on your end, but it sure does on our end. But we're here to help. So give us a call and we'll get you set up either way. So, but yeah,
Absolutely.
We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks.